Welcome back to the Fee King Show. I am your hostess with the mostest. This is Fee King. The show goes down, God willing, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. I am your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. This is the Fee King Show. The Fee King Show is all about who are you? Like, who on a cellular level, what do you do? What's your why? How in the world are you keeping it all together? I.e., what is your self care modality? How are you caring for yourself amidst all of the things that we get to do in this new norm? All right. So, listen, today we have a guest. We have a very special guest on the Fee King Show. And I am expecting that she is going to pop on any moment now. That will be me stalling. And so, in the meantime, who am I? I am a woman. I'm a sister. I'm an auntie. I'm a pet parent. I'm a cousin to my favorite cousin on my mother's side, Rosetta Bonner. Rest in peace to my beloved sweet cousin. I am also a daughter. I'm a niece. I'm a cousin. I am a fiance to an extraordinary, beautiful human being named Sekou, right? Maybe you heard of him, maybe you know him. Out here in these New York City streets. What do? I help women over the age of 40, specifically, yet not exclusively, get unstuck en route to being physically and fiscally fit. He wanted y'all to know, just in case you don't know who he is, this is who he is. Go Sekou, go,
I'm trying to see
go
his
Sekou.
contact from her from some
From
source.
from my guest?
From your guest, yeah.
Yeah, so I would see it here.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just check. Nope.
On text message?
No, on the show. I would see her here, guest.
Okay.
Yeah. So her name is Paris Nicole. Paris is on the West Coast. And listen, Paris is a very, very booked and busy actress, director, producer, what? Comedian and dancer. I'm like, what is it you don't do? Remember that line from, what was it? Five Heartbeats, Big Red. Oh my goodness, she's so talented. And so she's on the West Coast, which is 3 hours earlier than us.
That's it.
And so
The difference, time difference.
the time difference, yeah. So hopefully she's going to log in any second now. But if not, we will reschedule Paris. But Paris, if you're listening, girl, get up. you have an interview. If I was her manager, I'd be like, you have an interview today. And it's all good. There was a time, though. I don't know if you can relate to this. There was a time, not too long ago, mainly in my 20s and 30s and early 40s, when I worried about everything. I mean, I would wake up and look for something to worry about. I would wake up and expect to have a whole host of things to worry about because I'd been conditioned to worry. It was at that time, it was what I thought was normal. And I tell you, we get to be really mindful of who we are getting our information from, who we are learning from. And I know that we want to put a lot of things on our parents. Well, I was raised this way. Yes, we were raised this way, but at a certain point in life, you get to take responsibility for the direction that you want your life to go in. You get to take responsibility for educating yourself, empowering yourself, equipping yourself, and relearning, reprogramming yourself. You are responsible. You get to, if you're interested in getting down to the truth and learning more about who you really are versus who they said you were supposed to be. For example, they told me my name was Felicia. So I just took ownership of that. They told me I was a female, a girl, now a woman. I took ownership of that. And for me, that does feel natural and normal. Like I've always felt very girly, very feminine, not even girly, because I'm very much so a tomboy, but I've always felt very rooted in my pronoun. So that one made sense to me. But they also told me what I was to believe, my religion or lack thereof, all of the things. And so now I realize, you know what? There's nothing to worry about. And this too shall pass. And instead of focusing on the problem, maybe I ought to focus on a solution, the solution. Let us just check in to see if my girl Paris Nicole. I have a feeling. Even though, yeah, I just have a feeling that Paris might think it's 11:30 her time. Yeah. It happens again.
Tell us about her.
Oh, oh, Paris. Oh, here we go. I'll tell you as I show you Miss Paris. And so it was here, bam. Here's a Miss. How I know Miss Paris is through her mom. And so her mom and I met in LA. Her mother, Lynn Connor, was my first publicist when I was doing my one woman show. And Lynn was one of those people. I'll never forget the day, the moment I saw her face. I was in a play. I was leaving the theater, and she was out front, and she came up to me and we had an exchange. And I just remember thinking, she's so nice and open, because it's not often that women are always that kind and loving and supportive of one another. That is the truth. I don't know why we're not. I believe we're getting better, but that's what I saw in Lynn. And I didn't know who she was, what she did. For me, she was a patron of the arts. That's what I thought. She was a patron of the arts. And then I noticed I would see her everywhere. And I was like, this sister is everywhere. I took a writing workshop in LA with Iona Morris. Iona Morris is the freaking A truth. Like, all praises to Iona. She is talented, gifted, super kind, and she's a rarity because she is one of those actresses. She's a writer, director, she's an actor. She is the daughter of the famous Phil Morrison, who was the first African American actor, the first African American male actor to star in a series. It was Mission Impossible, the TV show. So for you millennials, Gen Z, Gen Xers, you might not know about this, but Mission Impossible was actually a TV show before it was a movie, or maybe it was simultaneous. Anyway, he was on that series. Her brother is also an actor, Greg Morris. I'm sorry, Phil Morris is her brother. Her father, Greg Morris, my bad, Iona. Greg Morris was the first African American male on a series, Mission Impossible. He was incredible. I took her writing workshop to write my one woman show. In that writing workshop, Lynn Connor, Paris's mom, was in it. And I was like, what's up, Lynn? So we're super excited, but we're in class, we're learning how to write, how to tell our stories. I had no idea that Lynn knew Iona, but I should have known because Lynn knows everyone. So when we finished the writing workshop, we had to perform our piece or get another actor to perform. When I say nervous, I was just like, oh, no, 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 no. There's no way. There's no way I can do this. And I'll never forget Miss Iona saying to me, baby, you wrote these words and you're an actor, so surely you can perform them. And I was like, yeah, but I don't like to curse. She was like, but you're an actor. So the actor curses, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. But sometimes when you are working on an autobiographical piece, there's an attachment that comes with that versus performing the words of someone else. I was very attached to this story, to the dialogue, to the characters, very attached. But because Iona is the truth, I was able to get through it. Lynn afterwards approached me. She said, Fee, I would like to be your publicist. I would like to help you get this show in front of as many people as possible. So that is how I know Paris. I met Paris when she was a little girl, y'all, like grade school. She was a little girl. Lynn has several children. They're all beautiful. They're all talented in their respective careers. I had not seen Paris for years until I took my one woman show to Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland, for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival 2015. I think I was on Facebook and I saw that Lynn and Paris, her daughter, who's going to be on the show, supposed to be on the show, but she's not here yet, but hopefully she'll pop in. I saw that Lynn and Paris were in Paris. I was like, what? What are y'all doing in Paris? So I messaged her. Lynn was treating Paris, her daughter, to a trip to Paris for graduation. She graduated college, and that was her graduation treat. I was like, that is so dope. And I just said, why don't y'all come over to Scotland? I'm doing my one woman show. Do you know they came over? I was like, what? And so let me just show you. When I had hair, that was us in Edinburgh, Scotland, doing all of the things art. Now, here's the beautiful story about Scotland. When I arrived in Scotland, I had a place to stay for the first 3 days of a 3-week commitment. I only had an Airbnb for the first 3 days. I was operating on absolute faith. I was like, you know what? I need to be here. I have got to perform my show. I have got to share this story with an international audience. I was laser beam focused on that. My first Airbnb host was from South Africa. She was a single mom, recently divorced, had a big job, big title in South Africa. She's a Caucasian woman. She moved to Scotland. Her husband was very wealthy, very wealthy. She moved to Scotland and she was a manager of a Starbucks. Like that was the downgrade for her. She rented out her son's room. And I'll never forget the night I got in. This is when I knew that they had a hood in every country, or at least in Scotland. Sometimes as Americans, we think that there's a challenged community. I don't like to call it the hood, but for the sake of painting this picture, we're going to call it the hood. I get a taxi from the airport to her house. And instantly, it was more of an energy before it was the look. I was like, this is interesting. I was like, I think she lives in the hood. Just an observation, because when you think of another country, I just didn't picture that. I get to the door. She's lovely. I go in. Do you know, we sit at her kitchen table for about 3 hours talking about everything. And I'm like, this woman's from South Africa, lives in Scotland. I'm from America, Midwest. I'm in Scotland for the first time, and we are vibing. And she says to me, I just want to share with you that, and I hope you're okay with this. I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable. I was just like, what, girl? Tell me. She said, my son, he's gay. And I paused. I said, okay, is there more? She was like, no, I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable. And I thought, are we Americans projecting that? Like, I said, why would I feel uncomfortable about your son's sexuality? Like, that doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. The fact that you're sharing that with me draws me more to you than anything else. I said, but trust me, I said, I don't have biases, prejudices, any of that. I said, so if that's been on your mind, I said, girl, release that right now. She was like, oh. And I thought, that's interesting. The next day, she and her beautiful son, I would call him, what did I used to call, what would I refer to him as? Something sir, because he was just so dope. And he and I are still friends on social media. He was so sweet. The very next day, they took me on a tour of downtown where the festival was taking place in Edinburgh, Scotland. They took me on a tour. She took me to her job. She took me to get all of my promotion materials for my show. And I just thought, this is what I love about what's becoming this new norm. This is what I love about social media. This is what I love about Airbnb. While other people would say, you mean to tell me you're staying in a stranger's house? Yes, sometimes you can be in someone's house that you know and they could be a stranger. I said, I had the most amazing time in Scotland. Paris and Lynn came over. I was no longer doing my show because I had two more shows left, and I just said, you know what? It's so challenging to get an audience. The first few shows I did, I had a nice size audience, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to take this time to enjoy the rest of the festival as a patron, and that's what we did. But here's the beautiful thing: when they arrived in Scotland, everything was booked. I'm talking hostels, Airbnb, hotels, everything in this city was booked because everyone from every country, it is the world's, let me see this again. It is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival is the world's largest theater arts festival. I'm talking millions of people, millions of people from everywhere. It was the most incredible thing. The first week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I cried. I was just walking around crying. I was like, I cannot believe that this is my life. I cannot believe I'm experiencing this. They have castles. They have castles. I was like, this is just dreamy. It was dreamy. They came over and they were like, Fee, we're here. We're trying to find a place to stay. Girl, everything is booked. So I'm thinking, these are my people. I invited them here. Tuesday. This is Paris's auntie. Let me tell you, Paris comes from a legacy of artists, talented people, beautiful people. What's up, Tuesday, Connor? Paris is fire, right? That's your niece, and she is fire, y'all. I want you to meet her. I want you to meet her. And again, Tuesday, can you call Paris and wake her up? I think she's thinking 11:30 a.m. West Coast time. But you know what? It's all good. We will have her on the show again because she really is fire. She's so inspiring. I had her on the show. We did a test run, and I'm gonna get back to the story, y'all. We did a test run of how to use LinkedIn, or sorry, StreamYard, because she hadn't done an interview on StreamYard. And she's coaching me. Like she's telling me, she's pumping me up, Fee, you can do it. I think you should try stand up. And she's just so dope. She's so talented and focused, like laser beam focused. I think she has something for all of us, whether you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or your 60s. Paris has something for all of us. And I said to Paris, I see you with a YouTube channel, maybe in the near future, where you actually show people how to navigate the industry. And it can be applicable to any industry you're in. You don't have to be in the entertainment industry. But this girl, she's got the entertainment industry locked down. But I want you to meet her. I want her to tell you all of the amazing things that she's been able to accomplish and conquer. So we're in Scotland. And like literally you could look to the left, to the right, straight down, behind you. You could probably count the brown and black faces on hand, and it didn't even matter. It was the first time in my life where I didn't feel black, where my blackness didn't matter. It wasn't even a consideration. I just felt like a person. I was like, what is this? Like people weren't looking at me, and I just didn't feel self-conscious. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like a minority. And that sounds weird because I definitely was. I mean, when I say there were people from everywhere, everywhere, they didn't have a place to stay. So I called my Airbnb host because I had her telephone number. I knew she was a manager at the Starbucks. I told her the situation. My friends are here from LA. They came over from Paris. Do you have any vacancies? And I went onto the Airbnb app, and it wasn't an app back then, by the way. It was a computer application, but you had to go to the website. You couldn't do it from your phone. Plus, we had international services. It was a whole to do, y'all. And she said, "Fee," she said, my place is booked. As a matter of fact, my son's room is booked. I have people sleeping on the sofa, and so I don't have any space. And I said, okay. Okay. She said, well, wait a minute. She said, you know what? Have them come. I said, oh, come to your house? She said, yeah, they can have my bed and I'll sleep on the other sofa. I said, what? Y'all, she did not even charge them. Paris, you can correct me if I'm incorrect, but this woman opened up her house and her room and she let them stay in her room. And I just thought, you can't say anything. So when people, as an Uber driver, because y'all know I do Uber too, right? Oftentimes I will get people in my Uber who will ask me this question. What's been your worst experience in Uber? And then I'll pivot and reframe it. Well, let me share with you my best experience. I said, because 99.9% of the people that I encounter in Uber in the world are amazing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Amazing, incredible. And they literally look at me as if they are a deer in headlights, like, are you sure? Like, lady, are you delusional? No, I'm not delusional. And yes, I am sure. That dang on Paris. Paris
Hey, good
Nicole.
morning.
Hi, baby. Good morning.
So sorry. I apologize. I
It's
had a
okay.
late night and I
It's okay. Don't
overslept.
listen. Listen, you are human. You are here. I am so grateful. So thank you, Auntie Tuesday. Girl, you know what? You got some people. So Paris, can you I've already shared so many things about you. Y'all, Paris is in the house. Paris is in the
Ooh,
house. Okay,
ooh.
Paris. When I got reacquainted with you in Scotland,
Mhm.
I remember you just graduated from college. What did you study?
I studied a few things. I changed my major a couple times. I was what was I at first? I was like a theater major, then I was elementary education, and then I was like, nope, nope, nope. I'm gonna graduate with a business marketing degree.
Oh,
So that's what I
I
did.
and where did you go to school?
I went to Cal State Northridge, and I also did the exchange program. I did a year at Louisiana State University.
Okay. Auntie's in the background saying whoop whoop. I don't know if you can see the comments, but
I
she's giving
can.
you up. You can't. That's okay. You know what? It's on the
Okay.
StreamYard app. Yeah,
Okay.
I
I
don't.
see
You
comments.
see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. All
Hey,
right. So
Auntie.
you.
Thank you.
All right. And so when I met you or got reacquainted, because of course you were a little girl the first time I met you. And then so now you're like a young woman. And when I met you, I mistook you for your mom's other daughter, your sister, who does hair, because I would see her around theater all the time. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is the little girl?
No, that was me.
No, no, your sister, your older sister.
Well, my mom used
Um,
to always take me to around in theater.
yeah, I met you, but I was more familiar with your older sister because she was an adult. Like, what's her name?
Kitty. Kitty.
Kitty, yes. And so when I saw you, you were grown, and I was just like, wait a minute, Lynn, like which one is this? And I remember you telling me that you were going to be an actress. Do you remember that conversation? I think we were at Arthur's seat.
I don't remember the conversation, but I definitely remember, meeting you out there and going to your show and us going on a beautiful hike.
We did. We went on a
Yeah.
hike. It was so magical. We were like three Black women in Scotland. It was wild.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to go
Paris.
back ever since.
Me too, Paris. That
But
was one of the best experiences of my adult life. I love Scotland so much. All right. I knew you were going to be an actress, right? And so sometimes when people say out loud what they're going to be, do, and have, you see them in that space, actress. But tell people what all of the branches that stem from being an actress are for you.
for me, let me think. Okay. I'm all trying to. It's opposite, so I'm like feel trying to show this at the same time. All of the things that I do, content creator, comedic
Yeah.
content creator. I'm a comedian. I'm a poet. I'm a filmmaker. My movie Talk to Me. I feel so weird it being opposite. You can't really see. There we go.
Oh, there we go. And I'm going to post that afterwards in the post in the post.
Thank you. Um, yeah, I've hosted. I toured with Disney as a host. So I'm a dancer to choreographer. I just choreographed for a new artist named Carol Dolce. But I've danced with so many artists. I've been in like 70 music videos.
Oh
I've
my
done,
gosh.
yeah, I've done a lot. I do everything that calls my heart, basically. And
Mhm.
I think because I'm a Virgo, I just strive to be great at everything that I do. And so it just, so yeah,
Okay,
do a
Paris, you
lot.
have not mentioned. So you said you are an actor, content creator, you are a dancer, you are a choreographer, and
Comedian and poet.
comedian, and poet, which I didn't know you were a poet. And the first time I saw that you were doing stand up, I almost got emotional. I almost got
Really?
emotional because I said, she is the epitome of someone who is not just living life, but you are eating life. Like,
Thank
you
you.
make life sound and feel like it's yummy, delicious, and every morsel is a new adventurous bite.
Thank you.
I mean, really, because so I mean that from my heart. You also are a director and a producer
And writer. Yep.
and writer.
Yeah. I just see I figured those things kind of fall in, but yeah, filmmaker, I wrote all my films.
And how
But
many is that?
this is my fifth short film and I've done a couple web series, but I mean all of that was just so I can give myself a part. I couldn't wait for
Mm,
someone else to write something for me, which is like
yes.
all the actors' dreams. Like you get friends with the writer so that they can write a part for you.
Yeah.
But
So smart.
it started off when I was on tour with Disney. My homie challenged me and was like, while you're on tour, thanks, Auntie. While you're on tour, I challenge you to write a 5-page short film. And I was like, okay, bet. I got time because, on the bus, I'm just, you're on tour a couple months. I'm like, I could do 5 pages in a couple months. And every night it's just was like I thought of little by little. It's a short film that I also cut into like a series called Mom Tea. Mom Tea means a mom and an auntie. Mom Tea. And then which is what I am. I wanted to write something inspired that by true life events and that would be simple for me to do something I could shoot at my own apartment and that's how it started. And then once I got the book bit, but definitely inspired by my Aunt Tuesday and my mother. Both of them are filmmakers as well. Auntie Tuesday's short film has been in like 50 festivals. It's
My
once
goodness.
50 or more festivals and has won almost 50 awards. So just heavily
Wow.
inspired by my own family who paved the
Yeah.
way and show what's possible and
Mm,
very grateful and proud to have that good examples of just
yeah.
women doing it for themselves and not letting anybody stop us from bringing our visions to life.
I tell you, so many people need to hear this today. They need to hear it today. What what is the most interesting thing you can share with us about your Auntie Tuesday, your mom, Lynn Connor, because Lynn is the bomb. And I love what you two are doing as mommy and daughter, your skits,
Thank
because
you.
your mom is so dope. So what's something interesting you can share with us about Tuesday, Lynn, and your father?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, about them. Well, I love that. I now see Auntie's got stories for days. I'm put on the spot. I'm like, I don't know. My mom and my aunt, my grandmother is a designer, and she had them learning how to sew before they could even go to school. um, so they've been designers and just in the arts. They also went to performing arts school called Inner City Cultural Center, and that where they got to do all kinds of things to connect with all kinds of creatives. And to this day, they're still using all those skills and those connections to still
Mm.
create. Still, my aunt and my mom have a show called Bluesology. It's a play that won in the Fringe Festival, and now they're going to take it off Broadway next year. So that's so cool.
I didn't know that. I love that. I want when I bring mom on the show, we'll talk more about that. Bluesology.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Bluesology. It's about Gil Scott Heron, and it's so
Oh,
good. I've seen it multiple times, so I'm just always so inspired and proud of both of them
yeah.
because there's no limit to what you can do and when you can do it. There's
Mm,
no there it just shows that you have a vision. You when there's a will, there's a way. You could figure it out, and you just never
mhm.
know what blessings. Because I'm sure they didn't. I'm not sure, but I figured they didn't assume like, oh, when we do this play, we're gonna go to New York. But it just unfolded that way, and it's so inspiring. So that's cool. I love that. Both of them have worked with and so many celebrities and are just love and light in this world. So I've always just been inspired by both of them. I
That
say
is
they're both my
beautiful.
moms.
You said both.
They're both like my mommies. So
Oh, yes. Um, when I was when I was reading your bio, and then we had a short conversation yesterday, I thought to myself, huh, I wonder why Paris doesn't sing. And Paris, I thought about you. I thought about you in particular, you and my niece. So I have a 10-year-old niece who loves the arts. She's a Libra. She's very artsy. She loves a lot of things. She loves pretty things. And she loves to dance. I thought about you when I went to see Hell's Kitchen, which is based on, have you seen it?
mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. I thought about you as an actor and a dancer because there's a lot of dancing and the dancing is prolific. I
Mm.
mean, I just wanted to get up and just move. I was just like, this is so incredible.
Is
And so I
that the
thought,
way? That's Alicia Keys' musical.
yes,
I
yes,
want to see that so bad.
you will. It is so dope. And I thought to myself, I wonder if, because she does so many dang on things, but I wonder if Paris sings. And I have a feeling, does Paris sing?
And I do. And it's funny. She said, did she say she was a singer? I can't sing. Yeah, I started doing musicals in elementary school. And I think it's because I never pursued it as a career, like being a singer specifically,
Mm,
that I don't ever really call myself that. I just say I can sing, but I'm not a singer.
okay.
But I just actually, posted about this McDonald's commercial, and I actually do a note, like a fun fact in there that although I'm not pursuing singing, I'm
Yeah.
always grateful when God blesses me with opportunities to share my voice in that way. Because now
Yeah.
that's the third commercial I've got to actually sing in, where they recorded my voice. And then I've also sang in the Oscars with Beyonce. So
You
that's
sang?
like my favorite accolade. That's my favorite accomplishment. One of them. That's definitely up there. But to be able to be in Beyonce's recording studio, sing, and then sing live with her, on the day and just be behind her. Like working with Beyonce was an ultimate dream come true that I honestly never even thought would
Mm,
ever happen, because I'm not with a dance agency, and usually bigger artists, they
yeah.
pull dancers from directly from agencies. And then
Mm.
obviously as a singer too, because I'm not pursuing it, I never would have thought I would sing with Beyonce. Like, what? Singing with Beyonce?
She said, "What?" Well, can you take us through those steps? You said, first of all, you are an incredible dancer, so I find it hard to believe that you don't have a dance agent. Can you take us through how that came to be? You
Hmm.
booking that gig?
I would say the most important thing in this industry are the connections you make.
Mm,
90, I would say 95 to 99%, because I don't have a legit, number of the
yeah.
jobs that I've booked have been from knowing somebody.
Mm,
So, like I said, I did a couple commercials where I was singing. I did a Caesars commercial where I had to sing and dance, like doo-wop style, like three background singers, but we were also dancing.
yeah.
So when Beyonce was looking, when they were doing rehearsals for that, the choreographer asked her assistant, "Does she know any singers who can dance?" And the assistant was the actual lead choreographer for the Caesars commercial. So she DM'd me and my best friend, who also had booked that commercial with me, and was like, "Hey, can you pull up to a private audition tomorrow? Can't say who it's for, but pull up at this time, wear black." I said, "Bet." We looked at each other like, who's it for? Because we didn't know. We knew that the Oscars was coming up. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
And we pull up to the audition the next day. There's only like 10 girls there. So I walked in. We were like, we got it. We got it. Then they put on a song, and it was a Beyonce song, Be Alive. And they had us like hit one note. They had us do a couple like simple movements that were just not complicated at all. And they were like, okay, we'll let you know by tomorrow. Rehearsal starts tomorrow, but we'll let you know by tomorrow. I was in the nail salon getting my toes done. I got that call like, hey, can you come to rehearsal today? I said, yes. Stop what you're doing. I'm out of here. I gotta go.
Helps. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. It was a router issue. Okay. And so this is Sekou, my producer and fiance. Sekou, this is
Hey,
Kate.
Sekou.
Paris, enjoying the story. Enjoying the
Thank
story.
you. Thank you.
And so you pulled up and you and your best friend said, we got this.
And the rest was history. It was a week of rehearsal. And normally Oscars is live, but because of the setting, we shot in Compton. It was a tribute because King Richard, about um, Serena
And Venus?
Williams and Venus. Sorry,
Yeah.
Venus.
Uh-huh.
It was about them, but also, she did the sound, like the song for the soundtrack, and so we shot in Compton on a tennis court that they
I,
redesigned and repainted and everything, and we were all in the same like tennis color green, highlighter green.
it was dope.
And it was so cool. Beyonce's so awesome. At least from my experience, she was very real and genuine, and like she came to two rehearsals, the last two rehearsals in the rehearsal space, and then we had a dress rehearsal on set, and the night
Okay.
day. And I remember the first rehearsal, we had to sing a cappella sometimes. And she was like, y'all sound good. And I was like, thank you. Beyonce, I'll never forget she said that to me. Ever.
She said ever. I love that. I love that story. I think what is the takeaway? What do you think the takeaway is for you and for those who are experiencing you right now? What is the takeaway?
The major takeaway is for me was you don't have to put a limit on your dreams, that your wildest dreams can come true in the most unexpected ways. Because honestly, working with Beyonce was a dream, but it was also something that I didn't know if it was tangible, to be honest, because like I said, I didn't have a dance agent. I'm not pursuing singing. I never in like really a million years. And so that was a true good testimony for me that like you can dream as big as you want, and it may not come when you think it'll come, but just know that anything is possible for us. When God makes a will, there's a way, because you just keep doing what you do, whatever field you are, and the right people will see you. Always be kind and good to people, because you never know when they can pull you in for something.
That part.
So that's another major overall lesson. I think even too, like I learned from Beyonce. I had a moment at the dress rehearsal. It was cold. It was so cold, and I'm one of those people who like get grumpy when I'm cold. But Beyonce was standing there in a spaghetti strap dress, just poised, didn't complain about being cold, didn't ask for a jacket, didn't. And I was like, okay, she's the star and she's not complaining. It's job done. So just remember that like people are watching, and just remind yourself, what things you could be grateful for and not complain.
That
And
is
then
so.
shoot day was great. Shoot day wasn't cold at all. So it was like, that was another lesson for me. Like, don't let the elements get you out of your element when you're
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. Don't let anything external take you out of your character. I love
Yeah.
that you got that lesson in early in life. Can I add to what you just said? The takeaway that I'm getting from your
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
is proper preparation prevented poor performance. So while you didn't have or don't have a dance agent, and you don't promote yourself as a singer, because you are so properly prepared, when the opportunity presented itself, it was a beautiful marriage. Because if you weren't prepared, it would not have happened that way for you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And you never know what is preparing you. You just got to keep doing the things you love. So, yeah, always just posting. I think I've booked jobs because I'm consistently posting. So it's like I'm staying on people's radar, whether it's whatever kind of content. But that also has worked for me. Uh,
Mm.
it's, yeah, like Auntie said, it's who you know or who knows you really.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
you can
remember
know, you
hearing
can
that.
say you know people, but if they don't know you and don't care about the things you do, then I mean, it may not help that you know.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good
Another major life lesson that I want to share with people is like, don't be scared to shoot your shot, because
one.
that's also how I've gotten jobs, is just speaking up. Sometimes people don't know that you're willing to do certain jobs or work or even interested,
Mm-hmm.
especially like I've realized that with someone like me too, who seems like they're always not seems. I am always doing stuff. So I know that sometimes people assume, oh, she wouldn't want to do this. She wouldn't want to. She's probably too good. But sometimes you gotta speak up. And when you
You know
have an
what?
agent, you still gotta do your own work.
You're
A
so
lot.
right, Paris, because I was really hesitant to reach out to you again. I was in my head about it, and I was like, but this is what you do, and I want to get to know people on a cellular level, and I want to highlight her talent. So I was like, I was in your DM. It just made sense to me, and I said, you know what? The worst thing that could happen is she could just say no, and that no one's going to get hurt by a no, right?
No,
Yeah, and
no.
I
I
got a
mean,
yes.
yes. And you had asked me before, and I said yes. I think I don't know what happened where we didn't. I don't know, but good timing. It's here. We're
Yes.
here now. Sorry again for being late. I was
She said, but
so early in
you
the
know what?
morning. 8:30 is early.
It is so early, and this speaks volumes. So for you all who are listening and watching and catching the replay, this speaks volumes about her character, because you could have easily said, "Oh, girl, I got to get myself together." But instead, you just said, "I just woke up. I'm late. I'm sorry, but I'm here." And I love that. I love that so much. And I appreciate you. I expect to have you and your mom come on the show together to talk about your skits, because you two are so funny. And I love it. Part of me is a little envious because I'm like, man, I wish my mom and I could have done skits, but there was no social media. No, it was at the very, very beginning stages. But we weren't doing that. But I get to live vicariously through you and Lynn. And I love what y'all do together. I love y'all's relationship. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, Paris. Can you take us out with how can we see you live on stage sharing your comedy in LA? And when you come to New York, it's a no-brainer. Like, I want to be there. I want to bring a whole slew of new people that I meet in New York. Like, I will be there. But let's start with LA. Where can people see you and experience you on stage in LA?
I do a lot of improv work. So I'm with an improv troupe called Bernie Mac and Cheese. And we perform every other Monday at Westside Comedy Theater in Santa Monica at 9 p.m. I'm also with the resident team. I'm with the resident team at Westside Comedy Theater. And it's a show called Mission Improbable, where we're like agents and it's super interactive. We involve the audience and it's all completely improv show. And I also do stand-up. So if you follow my Instagram, I post monthly about the shows that I have lined up. I also have a newsletter that I send out once a month with my shows. So yeah, there's so many opportunities. Every month I have at least minimum 5 or 6 shows in a different way. One way that's one thing or another. Sometimes there's a dance show sprinkled in there, dance performance.
My jaws my jaws are hurting because I'm just smiling so hard because I'm so moved and inspired. And I was sharing with I did a video about watching or experiencing Hell's Kitchen, how something about that show awakened something in me. And yesterday when you and I had our conversation, and now today me getting to interview you, I have been awakened in a different way. Like, just, it's so exciting.
Good.
It's
And
so exciting.
I didn't know you were in New York.
Yes.
But that makes sense because I actually just did another interview like 3 days ago at 8:30 a.m. and she's on the East Coast too. I'm like, yeah, this is my only option. 8:30, okay.
I appreciate you so
No,
much for saying
I
yes.
appreciate you too for having me be a part. I'm always grateful because everything is preparing us for the next thing, right? That's how I look at life.
It
Like,
is.
oh, the Beyonce job prepared me for something else. The Disney tour prepared me for something else. These interviews are preparing me for when I'm on, the Daily Show or the news, like doing interviews because I
Sherry
have to get
Shepherd. Yes.
Sherry Shepherd and I gotta be up at 6 a.m. Like I am grateful for this opportunity and also just to share my story and who I am and how I am, because on social media people can have a certain perception of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want people to know that I'm real.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Oh.
I'm not like a superficial person that's just talks crap about people or makes jokes. Like I'm a real human and got human experiences and yeah, I'm grateful for this. So thank you.
Thank you.
And we
I
talked about
will.
stand up yesterday, and I'm saying it on here on your StreamYard. I can't wait for you to do stand up. I didn't know you were in New York, where it's like the stand up scene is crazy out there. I would like to experience that myself, but there's always shows and open mics every day, all day. So get your little booty in the open mic and reformulate how to tell your one woman show in a condensed funny way. Like just think about all the parts that really made people laugh when you did your show. And by next year, I'm challenging you. By next year, I want to hear that you've hit at least 3 open mics.
Next year, like the end of next year?
Like by summer.
All right, by summer 2025, at least 3 open mics.
At least 3. But once you get the ball rolling, you'll see. And then there's going to be people way worse. You have a stage presence. You're a performer. So I'm telling you, just do it. The scene is so heavy out there. You can really be in one every day. But challenge yourself, and I challenge you, and I follow you on social media. So I'll be able to. I need accountability. I need to see a picture or something.
All right, Miss Paris Nicole. So listen, okay. I'm going to say yes. I accept that challenge, and I really like to under promise and over deliver. So you just watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna start with some classes, and I'm going to accept your challenge. So I say yes, and I will see you on the Fee King show again with your mom. I love you. I'm so proud of you.
I love you.
I'm so proud of you, and just keep doing it and keep doing more. Just keep doing more and more and more. Please, we need it. Something happened with the volume.
Can you hear me?
No, can you say it again?
Sorry, I got a phone call, but I was saying can't stop, won't stop.
Hey.
This is all of this. I always say this is still just the beginning.
Yes, girl, you have barely scratched the surface, and yet you've built a whole resume, like you have a production company. You are doing things that we didn't even know we could do, and now because of you, you have given us permission. When I say us, I mean whether you're an artist or not. I believe everyone has some artistic ability, but whatever industry you're in, whatever age you're in, you get to wear all of the hats. There was a time when people would say, as an artist, as an actor, you're an actor. And then you become a producer once you become a superstar. Then you get to executive produce. But no, why can you not write and produce where you are? And that's what you're doing. And I'm telling you, you've awakened some things and some people. And I appreciate you. I'm going to send you clips between now and 24 hours.
Okay.
Now and 24 hours. All right.
Thank you.
Have a magical day. Thank you.
You too.
All right, girl.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Peace.